is a completely different type of team than what the Rangers were. What is so different that you guys kind of have to adjust to, knowing that you play very similar styles?
Yeah, I think obviously New Yorkers a little more run and gun, and they're hiring guys like to maybe cheat a little bit more than these guys. I think all year they've had guys out of the lineup. They've been missing bodies, and as a team, they're one of the best teams that that I've ever seen in this league.
What did they do, or what did you do? One shot in the first period. So was it a little bit of both?
Yeah, I think when something like that happens, and it's easy to see. Obviously we didn't come out and we weren't ready enough. I think they were raring and they were ready to go, and they had a great first period. And obviously that's something we're going to look at.
You got to your game in the second. So is that something that you can build off?
Yeah, it's kind of been like that all year. We've had tough stretches like any team, and we're a confident group. And the first period was not good enough, and to come back and maybe start feeling our game a little bit in the second, obviously it's a positive, and we have no doubt in this group that we'll come out better next game.
I think. Oh, go ahead.
That's what I was going to say. You guys have faced adversity in that first round. So is that something you can look at and say we've done this before, so let's just get at it in game two?
Yeah, the score is what it was, but on the bench, the vibes were not bad, and we did feel like we were in the game for most of the game. So, score tells one story. I think the first game against the Rangers was honestly, I think it was a lot worse. I think obviously that wasn't great, but something we can build off the second and third period there.
When you see Akira get pulled, what's going through your mind? What's going through the team's mind at that time?
You never want to see that. He's a guy who's obviously been so good for us, and the way the players take the ownership when the goalie gets pulled, we don't look at that like that's an Akira thing. I think our goalies have been so good, and they've been awesome all year. So not something we want to see, but obviously the way Akira's bounced back before, I think he'll be fine.
Bratter, what's the biggest difference from the series you guys just played versus the type of team that you guys just faced tonight?
I mean, they're two great teams. Obviously, play a little different. I feel like Rangers were playing more of an offensive, skilled hockey, and now we're playing a team who probably have playing their structure the best in the league, and they're playing good defensive hockey. They're challenging us to win our one-on-one competes, and they played a tight, solid game, and I feel like we didn't get to our strengths either at the same time.
What were they doing that limited you to one shot in the first, or was it something that you guys didn't do energy-wise?
I think it was both. We didn't get to our game. We were a little sloppy on puck. We were a little slow getting to pucks and supporting each other. And when you're not supporting each other and skating against a team like this, it's going to be a hard, tough game, and you're not going to create that much. So I feel like at the same time we didn't take the shots that we needed to take. And sometimes it's the slight little funnel to the net that creates a big opportunity. So that's stuff that we got to learn to take into game two.
You were able to get to your game in the second. Is that something you can build off?
Yeah, of course. We got a little momentum there with a couple good shifts, some good scoring chances, and those are the times when you play in a team like this that you got to make sure those puck gets in the back of the net because you're not getting too many.
Can you chalk that first period up to maybe 48 hours ago, the emotional of beating the Rangers?
Yeah, no, obviously it was a quick turnaround, but at the same time I think it can be good too. You get right back into the heat right away, but. Obviously, the difference now is that they were on top of their game and they played their structure better than us, and their compete was harder.
When you think about the mental side of the game and you go back to last series and just how quickly you guys were able to make adjustments and turn it around, that has to breed some level of confidence, that more so than you already have, that you guys know how to make those adjustments quickly and execute on them, no?
Yeah, of course. At the same time, we wanted to get this series started a lot better than the last one did, but now one game in, we didn't really adjust well enough, and now it's up to us to make that happen quicker than the last year. We're playing an extremely tight, good team that doesn't give us a lot, so it's up to us to figure this out and bring out the blue color even more next game.
Did this game one feel a little different than the game one against the Rangers? Because obviously the Rangers won 5-1 as well. But is there a distinctive difference between the two?
Yeah, I feel like in the first game we were kind of lacking that playoff hockey a little bit. We made a little too many unmatured mistakes and then fueled their offense. And I think There was some similarities there today, but I just feel like overall today we didn't get to our speed. We didn't get to our intensity as we have to be in this kind of series.
Jesper, you have bounced back so far in every game. Does that give you hope and confidence that, hey, it's one we're able to bounce back?
Yeah, we're never getting up ever. We know that we can bounce back from this, and I mean it's one game. You got to learn from it. You got to see it from the way that we weren't even close to playing our best hockey, and it kind of gives you hope and it gives you some motivation going into the next game that we can step it up a lot.
Okay, just your thoughts on the start, first period, and being pulled.
Yeah, obviously slow start. We expected more from ourselves, but that's just how it goes sometimes. And I think it was the right move. Give the team something different, and we played amazing. So it's the right play.
You've been, in the situation before in the last series. How much do you learn from what you guys went through in the last series?
Yeah, I mean, we gained a lot of confidence from the last series, but it's a new series. What happened in the first doesn't matter anymore. It's just going back to work again.
Here, can you speak to maybe what Carolina was doing differently in front of you? Were you able to see? It looks like there were a lot, especially that first goal, you were screened completely. But were they doing anything differently around the net, in front of you, or in the slot area?
I mean, not really. They just, they have big bodies. They work hard, and they made my life hard. Getting in front of my face and taking away my eyes.
Kier, is it frustrating for you when you're going through that first period and you only see one shot on goal in front of you? Is it frustrating for you at all?
Not frustrating. As a goalie, you're more worried about your job, doing your job. But obviously, we know we're better than what we played in the first period, and as the game went on, we got a little bit better. But yeah, as a goalie, you just try to focus more on what you can do.
Just thoughts, something that you weren't doing there in the first period, or something that they were.
In my eyes, coming off a huge emotional win, quick turnaround. You look at the energy they came out with. They backed us into a corner right away. We didn't execute. You got to give them a lot of pressure. Got to give them a lot of credit. They created a lot of pressure. Their D were heavily involved, on their forecheck, and we just didn't win enough of those 50-50 puck battles in that first period.
Decided to that just kind of.
It had nothing to do with our goalie. I mean, I could have taken multiple players out.
Lindy, how much of a lesson was it for your group in last series, and for you to know how quickly they can turn it around from the lessons that they so quickly learn in a game?
Well, you have to look at this game as another lesson from series to series. I can only imagine, the emotion and the amount of people telling you what an unbelievable game the previous one was. We all felt the same way. I know when I dealt with it, players are going to deal with it. You start thinking this is pretty good, and then you get an eye opener tonight. You're right back in the playoffs again.
Can you speak to the way Mike McLeod has been playing, not only last series, but again tonight? It looked like that line was really heavily involved, not only.
Yeah, I thought he had great legs, hanging on to pucks, created opportunities. Bass scored the goal. They were in on a couple other, but I thought overall that line gave us a real good night. I thought Miles was skating, moving inside the offensive zone, and they really spent a lot of time in their zone. So Michael's played well. He's used his speed, and he's not afraid to handle a puck in traffic.
How much did not having Timo kind of alter things and maybe affect your?
You know what? Every team deals with injuries. You deal with bodies. You got to get by it. We need to be a lot better as a group.
Is Timo going to be okay, or is it sort of a day-to-day kind of thing right now?
Day-to-day right now.
Lindy, you knew going into this series that it was going to be different stylistically. I'm just wondering if this is also a wake-up call for the players, just about what you're going to face defensively from this team.
Well, I think what you're going to face is pretty well what you saw the second and third period. Two teams that really work hard at the puck away from it. Both teams back check as hard as any team in this league. Their defense, when they're involved, their forwards are above pretty well the same way we play. You could tell there wasn't a lot of ice. I thought we got our game going in the second period. There was times that we looked like they did in the first period. But it is going to be a different type of series where any ice you get, you're going to have to earn. Battles on the wall, you're going to have to win. Not a lot of free plays going up the wall, not a lot of uncontested pucks that are in the paint that somebody's not coming down on you, making you make a play.
Lindy, did you get a chance to talk to Akira after the game? And kind of what was said there? He seemed a bit disappointed in the locker room.
No. The answer is no. I gave him a fist pump to the blocker when I walked by him, just to let him know that had nothing to do with him.
Do you go back to Schmidt game 2?
That's a question for tomorrow. That's an answer you won't get.